you have done earlier, you can start your sun therapy or sunbathing as early as 7:30 when you can see visible light of the morning until about 8:30 or 8:45 when you start to feel the tingling feeling. That means that your skin starts to reject the sun ray. Why? I will explain later. You can do about 30 minutes or 20 minutes if you are busy. You try to spend some time, maybe yoga or meditation or maybe stretching under the sun. Don't do it indoors, do it outside. That will be a lot better. It makes a difference. Okay. It's called natural healing therapy. Why it heals? So, as you can see that, the sun therapy, it comes from the word heliotherapy. The word helio from the word Greek means light or the sun. And back then, the people from like Socrates and Aristotle, people who know so much about medicine, they already knew the importance of sunlight back then. And it is also part of the treatment for a lot of skin ailment back in those days, ancient times. Because you do not have whenever you have all the sunburn, you have something cooling set for you to cool off. No, they just use the sun therapy in order to improve the quality of the skin. And of course, I want to help you to understand about the sunlight. Why sun therapy is so interesting. Why 7:30 to 8:30 morning sun? Do you realize that the flower petals start to open between that time, 7:30, 8:30, or even 9:30? Because that sunlight contains the highest level of infrared, or we call it the red light. The red light is very important for the foliage of the plant to grow, the greenery. That's why you see all our Malaysian fruits are like durian, hard shell, right? Maybe in England, apple. So all the tropical fruits, they come with hard skin. Those fruits that is being imported, they are usually come with soft skin because tropical countries comes with very hardy sunlight, a lot of UV rays. That's the reason why the skin of the fruit can be developed that thick or that hard, and it contains a lot of nutrients within that kind of fruit. So try to eat the fruit that is around you. Do you know that, like for example, the highest vitamin C, yesterday we spoke about ascorbic acid, correct? So, in your mind, the highest vitamin C content fruit that you have in your mind, what do you think? Uncle, maybe you think Rosella. Okay, you can say Rosella. Fruit. Buah, fruit. Never mind. Orange, apple, papaya, okay, the answer is guava. You know the guava is hard, right? And it's tropical. So, this is one of the examples we can see how the sunlight has given a very powerful effect to the tropical countries. Second one, another example. You can see that when people are from Mediterranean countries, for example, away from the sea, away from the sun, always have winter, like London, for example, the people are always depressed, if you notice. People from Spain, people from Penang, people from Greece, they are always cheerful. Hey, that's the theory behind it, you know. Because they are always exposed to sun. You can go to London, they will be like gloomy, like the weather. Good day, sir. Yeah, they just ignore you. But in relationship, they give you a big warm hug to you, whoever you are. So that's the reason just now I was teaching you guys to be intentional to harness the energy of the sun. Because whenever you learn to receive, you learn to accept, your cell will listen to you. Even though you did not know how to do it in the beginning. I didn't know how to do it in the beginning as well. But as the time goes by, your body will automatically receive the power and the energy of the sun. Okay, so try to stick to the morning sun if you have the time. If you do not have the time, okay, another forgiving way is after work between 6 and 7 p.m. But of course, the morning one will be the best. Alright. Sun therapy. Now, as we can see that sunlight, the previous slide, this is the one you can see the. Okay, the sunlight. You can see all this color. It belongs to only this tiny strip of the wholesome sun ray. This is only the rainbow color. We call it, you know the wholesome food, right? We also have wholesome light. So that's the reason we encourage you to expose to the sunlight. Hey, what about X-ray, gamma rays? Ultraviolet is so harmful. The earth has already done its job for you. The atmosphere itself has already filtered all those harmful rays away to be exposed to you. So whatever you are harnessing right now, it is quite safe if you do it at the right time. Okay? So it's very important for you to understand the sun therapy. UV light is also very important. UV light because whenever you have dried the clothes, you have washed the clothes. Today people will prefer they have dryer lah. So that's the reason I have some of the patients coming to me. I have fungus infection or eczema. Whenever I ask this question, do you actually expose the clothing to the sunlight? They say no. So for us Malaysians, it is better for you to expose all your clothing, all your attire to the sunlight because it can kill the bacteria and the microbes by UV ray. And of course, now we talk about the energy that cannot be, that means the sources of the energy that will not deplete. Because nowadays, petrol, the fuels, we do not know one day those kind of energy will be fully depleted. That's the reason why scientists, they have been finding a lot of ways to replenish, to find a new replenishing energy. For Malaysia, it's like hydroelectric, the waterfall, right? So the sun energy actually can generate about 164 watts per square meter over a 24-hour day. Okay, so 164 watts is about like you can turn on a full house, double-story house with 4 rooms, with TV turned on, with loudspeaker turning on, 24 hours. This is that much you can harness. It's just that we do not have the technology to be able to keep that energy yet. Alright, it's interesting. Now, we know that there are different layers of the atmosphere. Okay. Okay, now, when we speak about the filtration of the light, the ozone layer is the one that is trapping most of the UV light within that layer. And of course, UV light is very important to stimulate the skin to be able to produce vitamin D3, but too much of the good thing is bad thing, becomes a bad thing. If you expose it too much, the UV ray can become a mutation. What is the meaning of mutation? Mutate. The cells will mutate into something else. abnormal cells. Then, eventually, cancer cells. Alright, so sunlight takes about 8.3 minutes to reach the Earth from the surface of the sun. Wow, so fast. 8.3 minutes. So imagine if you try to take a rocket there, it takes years. They use light years to calculate the distance. And it's very, very interesting that how the atmosphere and the sunlight can interact with one another. They can actually convert a different kind of light energy to the plants. You know, like the plants, why does the plant can actually grow from 2 leaves, 2 foliages, become 4, become 8 by exposing the tree to the sun. But not us. If you expose ourselves to the sun, we don't grow 2 hair, 4 hair. No, because the plant actually has the ability of combining all the inorganic components, means that the lifeless things, and make it life to you. You see how we are being blessed with all these things, vegetables and fruits, because if, okay, for example, our macronutrient is protein, carbohydrate, fats, correct? But plants, they don't eat carbs, plants don't eat protein, they don't eat fat. They take like inorganic matter like carbon, phosphorus. So that's the reason it's being called autotrophic. They can generate their own food on its own. So you need to take a lot of fruits and vegetables. Okay. The history of sun therapy. So this is the, I give you a quick overview about the history. So in ancient times, whether Eastern or Western culture, people or the old scientists, they already know how to utilize the sun therapy to treat different kind of ailment. And one of it is already being won Nobel Prize, which who is Vincent, actually using phototherapy to treat certain health disease like lupus vulgaris. It's quite rare right now, but back then it was being used to treat, like using the UV light to treat the skin disease due to the tuberculosis bacteria. So as you can see that UV light is able to kill bacteria in a harmless way. So nowadays, even though they also have the chamber that uses the UV light to actually treat certain skin diseases. So we always consult which kind of light, which area of the spectrum that we need in order to treat that kind of diseases. But if you talk about wellness, like food, always eat wholesome food. Even light, you need to expose yourself to wholesome light. Even though you sit down like that, like open up the curtain, you guys are still exposed to the wholesome light. It's good for your eyes. It's good for your eyes. Alright. Okay, wow. Wow. Which is pineal gland and also hypothalamus. They will start to secrete serotonin. Serotonin means that it's a daylight, it's a day hormone. It keeps you alert. It will help you to project the energy. It's like at night you feel like tired, right? It's because sun is going down. Because morning sun is able to trigger the serotonin so that you feel motivated. So people who are always being exposed to the sun, you have a stronger motivation to do something. And especially at 11 o'clock, your alertness will be the highest. Until you have lunch, food coma, too much already. Yeah. So don't eat too much of carbohydrates at lunch because it will kill off that serotonin. That's the reason why simple sugar, high glycemic index food is able to interfere with serotonin. The serotonin is like our mother hormones in the body. mother hormones. And what about the night queen hormone, the queen of the night? Melatonin. Whenever the sun starts to set, you feel sleepy because your body is telling you, hey, day hormone, get up. You have done your work, done enough, take a rest. Now, melatonin takes over, and what will happen? Your body will start to repair. Whatever the stress that you have been through, melatonin will be in charge of repairing the cells. Like bone marrow reproduction of the new cells, stem cells, it's also being instructed by melatonin. Imagine those people who do not sleep well, sleeping disorders, they are always being impacted with a lot of chronic diseases because of this.